in Caesarea Philippi. I first visited this site for the first time in 1979. And at that time, all of the water that we see here was actually coming out of the mouth of the cave. We're going to go up to the cave just now. But it's interesting that up until 1980, all of the water flew out of the mouth of the cave, and it's only since then, there was a cave in, that it's coming out down here below. Let's go up to the cave. This is an awful place. This place is a grotto for the god who is named Pan. Here was the place where the idol was located, and this was the place for the sacrifice. If you can imagine, and it's hard to imagine, but what they would do is they would bind a child, hand and foot, a child who had never been in any way disqualified in life. That child, perfect child, would be taken and thrown over the edge, and this was flowing with water down below us. It was a huge pool, but it was a strong flow of water coming through here. In fact, the flow of the water was so strong, they tried to figure out how deep it was, and they couldn't find the bottom. In ancient times, they tried to throw a rock down, they tried to put a long pole in, they couldn't find the bottom, and they actually came to the conclusion this was a bottomless pit. We know in the New Testament, this place is called Caesarea Philippi, but in modern times it's called Manias, or actually more correctly, Panias, named after this evil, false deity who was worshipped here. There were other gods who were worshipped here. We have Zeus, we have the dancing goats, we have the nymphs, we have the goddess. All of them were worshipped here, but the most awful of them was this one, Panias. He was the one who accepted human sacrifice, and he accepted it in a place which was called the bottomless pit. Now, Jesus came to Panias, and he came here with his disciples. This is one of the only two times we see Jesus going to a place which was considered to be unkosher. In fact, it was fully Hellenized. It was a place which wasn't acceptable for Jewish people to go. And he came here, he made a long trip. Can you imagine? He starts down to the Sea of Galilee and he walks up here. It's a long walk, probably 4 days hike. Hard hike to get here. Brings his disciples up here, stands here within view of this location, and makes a proclamation. What in the world was he thinking of? Why would he come all the way up here to stand in this place and say, "Who do men say that I am?" What are they? Why this place would he make such a proclamation? And then he asked Peter, "Who do you say I am?" And Peter declares, "You are the Messiah. You are the one we've been waiting for. You're the most important thing in my life." And Jesus told him, "You're right. You got that right. And it wasn't just because you figured it out. God himself told you that." And then he makes what I consider to be one of the most important prophetic statements in all of the Bible. Tanakh, New Testament, all of it. There's one 5-word statement, which is a prophecy that he makes. And it's very simple. He says, "I will build my church." Simple, right? I will build my church. That is a profound statement. And then let's go through it one word at a time. Who will build the church? He says, I will. What will they do? He says, I will. This is an absolute. I will. No question about it. Whose church is it? My church, he said. And what is it? It's a church. Now, not church like you think of. The word in the Greek is ekklesia, which means community. He says, I'm going to build this thing. It's mine. Whose is it? It's his. As if the pastor is building his church, he's doing it wrong. It's Jesus' job to build the church. The job of the pastor is to be used by him and to participate in his plans to be a co-worker. And that's awesome. So the most important chapter in the Bible, the most important prophecy in the Bible, I think it's that one, when he said, I will build my church.